head coach Al Holden and quarterback Stephen Morris. Coach, if you could just start us off with the opening statement.
Yeah, obviously disappointed. We got beat in all three phases, and there's no excuses. We didn't play well enough. Give a lot of credit to Louisville. They played really well. They executed well. And again, it's my responsibility, and disappointed in our execution in all three phases. And I just, as I just shared with the team, despite that, just really proud of Stephen and this group of seniors and what they've been through and what they've endured and moving us forward. From 6 to 7 and from 7 to 9 wins. We're going to miss them greatly for all that they've contributed and obviously for their leadership through a really tough 3 years.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Sorry, did it
Oh, excuse me for a second. We have court reporters and we're trying to do live scripts, so if you could please find a microphone if you have a question. Thank you. Bring it up front here,
did it kind of remind you of the Florida State game a little bit in that you clearly were just against the football team that was significantly farther along than where you are right now?
Yeah, again, Gary, I appreciate the question, but it's so hard to answer that without discrediting the guys in that locker room. Especially the seniors who've been busting their tail to keep us afloat and to move us forward. So, again, I think everybody recognizes, and I'm going to answer this honestly, and I bet if you ask Stephen, he would say the same thing. I mean, everybody recognizes that we're not where we want to be yet, but we're scratching and fighting and clawing to get to where we want to be and to keep moving forward. And we've done it, against terrible odds. So, again, I'm not going to discredit the guys who just played, but we have to get better. And, we're going to play these guys again in the near future, and we got to be better.
Al, what does have to change going into next season defensively?
Well, again, I think we didn't give the defense a chance in this game early in the game. I thought they were playing really well. I thought they did a great job against the run until late. Too many plays. They were out there for too many plays. And, we didn't convert it. I think we were 0 for 7 at the half on third down on offense. So there's, Matt, there's a lot of things that have to change. And we have to do a better job coaching. We have to continue to build our program and just move forward. And again, I think the defense was what was holding us in there in the first half, Matt, and they were out there for too many plays.
Coach, did you see any of this in preparation and bowl practice? Is there any sign that the game would be like this?
No, obviously it's our first go-round for the freshmen, juniors, the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. It's their first time going through this experience. But again, Stephen and Shayon and Jimmy and Alan, they provided really good leadership for us. But again, it's the first time. You got to go through it. We didn't want to play the way we played these. We wanted to play better. But there are going to be a lot of things from this week and from going into a site and learning how to handle the media and the crowd and all of those things that we have not had the opportunity to do. And again, I think our guys are going to find value in that and learn from that.
Coach, can you please talk a little bit more about the significance of the senior class and how it's been this program after everything you guys have been through?
Well, again, I don't think it's to go out on a limb to say they saved us. I mean, they could have cut and run. They kept us afloat, and I mean they saved us. I don't know how else to look at it. That's about as hard as you get in our business. What they had to endure for 3 seasons. And, again, we're all stinging right now by the way we played, because it's not to our standard, let alone anybody else's expectations. But I'm not going to let that eclipse what these young men have done for the University of Miami and our program and the class that they exhibited, and to take somebody else's problem on and claim it as their own and have the resolve and the perseverance and the mental toughness to fight through. I'm proud of them.
Steven, this question's for you. Obviously today, 4 sacks. It seemed like most pressure maybe that you felt all season back there. Can you talk a little about the performance and this being your last game as a Hurricane?
Obviously, it wasn't the performance that I wanted to have, being my last game here. But give credit to Louisville. They had a great defensive game plan going. They were in the right spots at the right time. And, they came up with making a play. And it's definitely something that I want to work on. It's something that it's been an issue. Converting on third downs, we need to do a better job on that. We needed to help our defense out by just staying on the field, putting points on the board. So overall, my performance as a quarterback was not one of my greatest performances, but you got to learn from it.
Coach, been here 3 years. Defensively, there's been some issues with schematics. Are you going to reevaluate the whole staff and everything in the future when the season's over, and perhaps look to make any changes?
I'm gonna evaluate the whole program, just like I do every year. This is not gonna be any different. But again, this stings right now, but in terms of moving the program forward, we're gonna keep moving it forward. And we're gonna be resolute in that, and we're not gonna flinch with that. So again, at the end of the day, we're gonna continue to recruit, continue to develop. But in terms of the young kids in our program and everything, I don't want to trade the young kids. I want to keep growing them. I want to keep moving forward. I just think overall, I think it's really important that every coach, every unit, every player, everybody is evaluated, and I'll start that probably tomorrow.
Steven, this might not have been the way you wanted to end your career here, but has it fully hit you yet that you've played your last game at the University of Miami? And what is it that you'll take away most from your time at the university?
I think it'll probably hit me tomorrow, and I wake up and I won't have a schedule from Coach Golden, and I won't have a text saying where I need to be. But it's been a pleasure here, man, and it's been a truly blessing. And I'm blessed to say that all these coaches have truly left such a great mark on my life that it's changed me into a better man. And I'm proud to say I'm forever Cat. And football is a game of wins and losses. And unfortunately, we didn't win the way how we wanted to win, and sometimes we lost the way how we lost, and it's unfortunate. But I'm always going to be proud to say I'm Cat.
Yeah, how much did they change over the month in terms of blitz packages?
Yeah, well, it was different. Yeah,
Significantly different?
Yeah, no, it was definitely different, and then obviously, they got out to a lead, and we never brought any pressure on the other side, which kept compounding the problem, Gary. So I don't think there's any question about it now. And then you get to a point in the game where you're pressing and you're trying to make some plays that you don't need to make. So yeah, I don't think there's any question. We didn't protect as well as we needed to protect. And that's my responsibility.
Coach, this is for you and Steven. I know it's not good right now, but the week in general. I mean, you gotta talk about how was the bowl experience for you?
The bowl experience was very fun. Russell Athletic Bowl did a great job hosting a lot of events for us. On top of that, the weeks of practice I thought was great. Even when we were in Miami, we had tough and physical practices, which was great. Guys were happy to be here, excited to be here. And when we got to the bowl site throughout the whole week, everyone was focused and everyone invested a lot into this game. So it's very disappointing the way how the game turned out to be. But overall experience of this week was a great experience.
I would just say that on behalf of everybody at the University of Miami, we're grateful to Russell Athletic Bowl and Orlando for just, they did a tremendous job for our young people, and especially given the fact that our guys hadn't experienced that since 2010. We're grateful.
Al, I think Teddy had, back here, I think Teddy had over 400 yards passing in this game. What was he doing that just allowed him to be so effective tonight?
Number one, I think he's, he made a lot of plays where he broke a tackle, through, made a completion. I mean, he made some really really excellent plays, just individual plays, where we, you know, it looked like we had him for a sack. We call an edge pressure into a naked. It looked like we got him for a sack, and he breaks the tackle and converts the throw. So there was a number of those plays, but obviously, you know, he's an excellent quarterback. He threw the ball well. But again, you can't, you know, there's no excuses right now. You know, he played well, he executed well, their team executed well. We have to do a better job.
You spoke a lot about the momentum that you felt in the recruiting trail this month, and obviously with everything that's gone on this season. What type of message does this game send to recruits?
Well, I don't know if it sends a message. I just think, you know, we're still building. We need help. Obviously, the size of this class is an indication, you know, that, you know, we're bringing a big group in, and there's a lot of room to help us. So I don't think there's any question that you know, that those kids understand that. They understand that they can help us, and there's room, you know, to help us. And we're not in, you know, we're not in a situation right now where we want to be, and those kids, you know, see themselves as guys that can help us get there. I don't think that's going to change anything. We just got to keep moving forward.
Coach, you're going to have the opportunity to play Louisville again real soon. How are you going to prepare differently, and what can you expect from that program over the next couple of years?
Well, again, I can't really speak to, you know, what direction they're going. All I can answer is what we need to do is, you know, obviously we need to get back to work and see how we evolve with our personnel in the spring. And then depending on when we play them, we'll make determination of what our game plan is and what our personnel is. And so again, that's so far off right now. You know, we're going to add, you know, 25, 26 guys to this team. And obviously, you know, develop the young men that we have and decide what direction we want to go in all three phases, in the off season and then in spring ball, and then we'll decide what the game plan will be moving forward.
All right, 2 more questions for Miami.
Coach, you talk about the process all the time, and now that the cloud is removed from the NCAA, do you have a time frame that you expect to get this program back consistently top 10, competing at the...
Well, number one, we just won 9 games for the 3rd time in a decade. Okay, I wish we had won 10. All right, but we're busting our tails right now to keep moving it. There is no timetable. Again, I take responsibility for everything in the program. So at the end of the day, today wasn't good enough. Again, I'm proud of the seniors, and I don't want that to be diminished or lost here. You know, we're going to keep moving this thing forward, and it has not. It's hard for me to give you a timetable. When my timetable was wiped out on, you know, August 15, 2011, it's hard for me to give you a timetable right now. All right, but I made a commitment to get it done, and we're going to keep fighting our asses off till we get it done.
Al, I'm sorry. I was just wondering about, you know, what happens tomorrow. Do you meet with the underclassmen at all? Do the seniors just kind of walk away and that's the end? You know,
We'll get the seniors back. You know, when they either come back to school or when they start to work out to get ready and do those types of things. So they know we have a great relationship with the seniors. But tomorrow, you know, everybody's going to kind of, you know, go their own way. You know, that's pretty traditional. But we'll find an opportunity to get, you know, the seniors back and get them together. But we really did try to honor them as best we could at the banquet and just make sure, you know, before the game, they understood how important they were, and we just had another opportunity in there where we did that again.
And then the follow-up to that is, are you, I guess you've probably already talked to some of the juniors that are contemplating perhaps, you know, entering the NFL. You know, how does that work now, or do you sit with them now?
We have a great process in place where they get their draft reports. They had and will continue to have opportunities to speak to every, you know, entity that they need to. But as it relates to me, I'm just there for support. I'm not part of that decision. I make sure that they get everything that they can get to make the best decision for them and their future. And obviously, if you know, if they need consultation from me, then I give it to them. Just as we have a whole booklet of people that they can call and different people that they can get information from to make the best decision for themselves.
All right, thank you, Coach Golden and Stephen, for your time.